Hello to my Cancers. This is Queen Moon Ra coming to you with your October 1st video. Happy October 1st. It's the first of the month. All right, Cancers. High vibrating Cancers are compassionate, intuitive, and also very protective, right? And all right. Looks like another Cancer, either Cancer Sun or Cancer Moon. We see that this moon here, either Cancer Sun or Cancer Moon, got pulled into something because maybe they cried. And like I always say, this pulled into something by a karmic couple because they cried over something. And now something has been sent back, and now a karmic couple is crying over something, right? That they may have tried to pull you or a Cancer Moon into, which is unfortunate because when you're dealing with karmic couples, you could actually be assigned to one within a karmic couple, but recognize that they are tied to something that is very sensitive, right? Is something is very sensitive. It's dying. Something is either somebody's in a zombified state, they just going along with the flow, whatever the case may be, but you can see, and that's a very sensitive time. So we're going to talk about the number 1, because 1 is very, very important, right? It's the first of the month, right? And so 1s are dignified, straightforward, and have a penetrating sense of direction. 1 is a vibration that represents the masculine aspect of our human experience, and all number 1 people carry dignity. 1s stand out. They're proud, achievement oriented. They represent the primal impulse and has strong self-worth. 1s will also demand respect and feel set apart from others. And 1 has a strong view and definite beliefs and protects those that are vulnerable. This is going to be key because we're talking about a karmic couple here, right? So you could know that somebody in a situation is very vulnerable, and you could know that the person that they're in a relationship is still doing things to make them cry, in a sense. And you as a Cancer, very nurturing energy, is in very protective mode, right? You could feel like somebody is they could be a light energy. They could be a light Cancer with a dark Cancer, right? Not to say that's your situation. So if you're a Cancer and you're in a relationship with a Cancer, does not necessarily mean that you are, because again, who are we to judge who's light energy, who's dark energy? We're talking about frequency here. So let's say somebody's on a different frequency, and so somebody could think that you're on a high horse and this is what makes this so challenging for some people, is as long as you create boundaries, right? As long as you create boundaries. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say there's a couple, a man and a woman couple, and you're a woman. You want to always address the woman, even if you've known the man longer. You're making eye contact with her because you're not interested in him, right? If you're a man, even if, whoever it is, you're addressing him, right? Because you're not trying to overstep anything, right? Because what happens sometimes is if they're apart from each other and you say hi to someone, and someone, it's already a fragile situation. Let's say you're the opposite sex and you say hi to the opposite sex, and they're already in a fragile situation, right? They're at the lowest of frequency, anything like, okay, there's no romance, the situation is dead anyway, some people are overwhelmed, what's the harm in doing something secretly? Well, what's done in the dark always comes to the light. That's the harm, right? So you're not interested in doing something secretly with a one or the other couple, right? You're not overstepping that boundary, right? So I see you getting married. I see you putting the past behind you, but somebody was trying to pull you into something, like somebody real dark energy, because they're at a low place themselves. They were trying to pull you into something to see if you get down with the get down. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's seriousness. Like somebody wanted to see if you are about that. Like, would you do something in secret with someone's significant other? That's gonna be a hell no to the no, no, no. No, because you're picking up somebody else's karmic cycle. If you're not afraid of humans, right? You don't fear human beings. There should be something in your spirit. Even if you're not a believer in God or higher power or source, but something should be in your spirit that says karma can do a much better job than a human can ever, right? So something in your spirit. Some people just don't have some people don't have an off button. And so those people you getting away from first and foremost with the quickness. But somebody said something that made someone cry about you because somebody really felt like you would come in between a karmic couple. And some people do that. I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. So those of you all who I've talked to know that many years ago, many moons ago, I lost my best friend and her husband, which I both considered as family, right? So, but they both died many years ago, right? So they're both resting in peace, right? But they were my ride or die for real. Like, so when you talk about what friends are, like the husband, for example, taught me how to drive. He's my uncle. Taught me how to drive manual transmission, like everything a girl would want to know, like how guys do, like in terms of driving manual transmissions, like how to ride a motorcycle, like like testing. Like, okay, I'll give you an example of what I mean testing. So he was a really nice looking guy. And she was a really nice looking woman, right? They were a really nice looking couple. Like everybody would probably say, oh yeah, they are a really nice looking couple. Like really, like, and I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But he told me one time, because my aunt at the time she was very sick. She was actually dying. And he said, watch this. We had pulled up to their apartment complex where they lived. And this was over 20 years ago. He said, watch this. He said, come with me, watch this. Because they were older than me. So he was always trying to teach me about, okay, you got to look out for this. You know how like older aunts and uncles be, you got to look out for this. You got to look out for that. You got to look out for this and look out for that. Like, okay, I'm just like, okay, really? Okay, teach me. I want to learn. Tell me every little thing. Tell me all the secrets, right? So he said, watch this. We walked up to this woman who lived in their building. And she's looking him up and down very like, what's the word? In a very flirtatious way. So y'all put a word in there. Y'all know what I'm saying. You get the point. She's looking him all up and down, and I'm mad at this point because I'm like, okay, you really violating. Like, that's my aunt. Like, okay, it's about to be a real problem here. And this woman lived right in the building with them, so she knew they were together. She knew they were a married couple, and she did not care. And so he said, hey, babe. But he would always say that to everybody. So he's just kind of like one of those kind of guys that's just kind of like, it was always that kind of almost crossed the line of flirtatious. Like, okay, do you need to call her babe? Like, what? She's like, hey, like putting her hands on his shoulders, whatever. And I'm standing there looking. He's looking at me like shaking his head, like just watch, like just watch. Like she don't even care. She just that kind of person. She don't even care. And so she said, hey, how you doing? Talking and all of this. And so he was like, oh no, my wife is over there, so on and so forth. And she was like, basically like, I don't care. Y'all, look, my point is, like I said, my aunt was dying. This woman didn't care at all, right? So that's how, when I look at this right here and I see how some people will come in between, they feel like something is dying. Here's the caveat though. There are people who will lie. In this case, the woman lived in the building. She knew they were married. She had seen them together. Matter of fact, she like in their apartment building, it was like 4 apartments on one floor. So she lived across, like not next door, but like almost like she lived across from them. So she knew they were married. It was no ifs or buts about it. So it wasn't even like she didn't know. So there's no mistake in that. There are some people who do lie and say that they're not married. There are some people, they don't have any indentions on their finger. You've never seen a ring. They've never talked about their spouse there. So those, in that instance, somebody is innocent, in that. And so some people do lie. They flat out lie and say they're not married. They're not married. They're not with anybody. You can ask them a gazillion times and they will swear up and down a stack of Bibles they are not with that person. This is a situation that was very different though, right? So in this, somebody was testing you or a Cancer moon to find out if you would be pulled into a lower frequency, which would have really made somebody sad or made them cry. But either way, somebody started crying because you're not coming in between a karmic couple. That's just that. Whether they're karmic or a twin flame, it doesn't even really matter. So you can finally put the past behind you. I do feel like you're getting married. If you were married in the past or you thought about getting married to somebody, this is the person who told people that. So they told 2 couples, your ex, whoever your ex is, either you were married to them or you thought about getting married to them. They were trying to bring a secret tower onto you. First of all, they were a secret enemy from the very beginning, right? They will project. Remember, Libra rules 7th house. So this is a type of energy that you could have either been married to or thought about marrying, like, or engaged or whoever, who always saw you as the lesser in the relationship, just so we're crystal clear. And now something has been exposed because now they're crying and realizing that, okay, you weren't what they've been telling people. They told 2 couples that you would be into coming in between a relationship. I mean, they told so many lies that just don't even make any sense, right? But that was one of them. So people are now putting the past behind them, basically saying, that's not who they are. You totally misread. Like, basically somebody was so impulsive. The polarity to 7 is 4, right? So you're dealing with an energy that has had an impression of you at first. It's almost like you're dealing with an energy that still will not admit that they impulsively misjudged you. What's hidden in this is the Judgment card. It's like a person who they're so obsessed with feeling like something is their way or the highway. Like they're telling a truth about something that clearly people keep saying, this is not, you don't even know who you married. Like, for real, you don't even know who you were engaged to. You don't even know who you were in a relationship with. Everything you're telling about this person is the untruth. Like, you didn't even know this person. And it's something that's not clicking and it's not registering. That lets you know it was a karmic relationship. That lets you know it was a karmic relationship. And so it's like sources saying to you, you were like the woman at the well here. Woman or man at the well. You would rather stay by yourself than get in between a relationship that was dying or on the verge of dying. You would rather say no to either one. Like, whether it's a man or woman, don't even really matter. No. Heck no. Why would you want to be in a situation where you're constantly crying because now karma came back to hit you like a karate chop in the neck? Like, why would you do that to yourself? Here we have the High Priestess energy. So yeah, something is overwhelming. Something is overwhelming. So a new love is coming into your life. Somebody just wanted to know, like, somebody is carefully vetting you from the shadows. From the shadows. Somebody is carefully vetting you from the shadows to see, because you don't look like what you've been through. And people are starting to see that some people totally misjudged you. This is why you're leaving people behind. Because you got anybody that halfway believes a lie about you, a partial truth is a whole lie. In other words, you're dealing with energies who they have evolved in some way. Maybe they was dropping it like it's hot and wild in the past, And maybe they was into both sexes and all of that. But guess what? For some reason, they cannot wrap their heads around the fact that you could have evolved even if you were that person. They can't wrap their heads around it. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. So you're leaving it all behind. You're like, let whoever believe whatever. So that's what frequency that you on. So whoever, and kudos, and look, guess what? Kudos and congratulations to you. Because why do somebody that obsessed with you? Like, ciao, bye. Anyway, yeah. So I see you getting married. So you getting married. Grief or regret may resurface. Spirit says focus on what remains, not what was lost. Your heart is ready for renewal. Yeah. If you connected to anybody, and hopefully if somebody is thinking about got marriage on your mind, and you're thinking about that, if they'll tell you, they'll let you know. They may not say, oh, I know this person or I know that person, but some of the things that they say, because you're high priestess energy, will let you know overwhelmingly what group they're with. They'll let you know overwhelmingly what group they're with. And so somebody is showing you that you are the darkness to their light. It's time to get up and roll out. Like, for real. That's when it ends right there. That makes you a seer. That adds to your psychic gifts right there. Adds to your psychic gifts. Because that lets you know, okay, what their belief system is. Their BS. That's a belief system. That lets you know what their belief system is. They really halfway believe. You're like, okay, you keep on halfway believing, whatever. That's not an energy that you would look up to. So they need to get it together. Like, they need to be in prayer. They need to be in prayer right now, child. For real. If they really, but Source is going to show you who your twin flame is. That's a person who inspires and motivates you. Let me tell you the dangers of people who are contaminated about you before they even really meet you or really kind of get to know you. The danger of that is they've already been contaminated. So you'll be walking on eggshells, constantly proving that you're not who people said you were. While all the while, you don't really know their past. So they come across as the light to your darkness. Like, who's doing that? You're not a half of a person. You're a whole person. This speaks to duality. This speaks to duality, right? And your psychic gifts are so overwhelming. Somebody was like, okay, your energy is so very attractive to people. People just kind of sort of want to know, but people dragging you into some mess like, you a part of that? Bye. Start packing. Your new dream home is loading, child. Who in the world has time? Good and bye. Goodbye and good riddance. Somebody didn't take this is your ex. This is who this is your ex or exes. However many exes you have. But it don't, guess what? It don't matter if you had 20 exes. That is nobody's business. If people judging you by, everybody had exes. Name one person that's only been in a relationship with one person. It's far and few in between. So whatever. If people want to believe the worst about you, it's already ended before it can even start. So that's what I'm saying for you. So a fortune is at stake here. A fortune is at stake here. And so you're in the rebirth side. You're a star. You've always been a star, whoever you are. And people had a feeling about that. A lot of people had a feeling about it. And some people still want to link up with you. So some people wanted to see, okay, is this person really a star? Let's see what people are saying about you. So something is not that deep. It's not that deep possibly for you where you are right now, but going down a rabbit hole is not that deep to find out who is behind something. A married couple is behind it. A Scorpio is involved in something. Journal your journey. You don't have to go that far. You're protected by angels. Yeah, so speak it into existence. So yeah, your new dream home is loading. So the best is yet to come. Your life is about to change in ways that you never even, well, you probably already imagined it, but it's about to change. The new one is extra special. So, Angel, child, these readings crack me up. When I'm looking at the stuff that I see in these readings, because people wanted to know if you would come in between something that seemed like it's, on the downward slope. Not with the stuff that you all have seen. Like the story that I just explained, my uncle was very, very protective of his of my aunt. But he was also very protective of me because I was like the third wheel, kind of hanging out with them, just learning things. And this is a person who would take me to Bible study, who would drive me to Bible study. And I was like, oh, before I could even drive, you want to learn how to drive a stick shift? Like, yeah, you're going to teach me, let me drive. I was like, I didn't even have my driver's license, at the time. But as soon as I got my driver's license, they was like, their poor transmission. All you heard was scraping, child, a mess. But eventually, once you learn, if any of those who know how to drive manual transmission, you never forget how to drive. Once you come out of first gear, you know how to drive. You know how to drive basically anything. So, yeah, so wealth is within your reach. Nobody had time for people who want to believe the worst about you. If you spending your brains, if your brains are on who's thinking the worst about you, then it's time to do a data dump. Somebody's still telling lies. Guess what? You don't care. They still telling lies about you because they never took somebody is so prideful. So whoever this group is, whoever these people are, they so prideful. You're not looking back. So you have the gift of clairvoyance. You see things clearly. You're a seer. So pray and meditate. Stop overthinking stuff. People are going to believe what they want to believe about you. If you look good, they're going to think you stuck up. If you look a different kind of way where you're not the most beautiful thing in the eye of the beholder, then who knows what people think. I'm not trying to jump in somebody's mind and try to figure out what they drinking, what they thinking. But here we had, treat yourself to a spa day. Oh, somebody has a lying spirit, child. Read 1 Kings 21 through 22. So anyway, you have to get the clear cognizance. You just have psychic knowledge about other people. Yeah, so prepare for an increase in pay. You know what I feel like looking at your cards here? Because you all are sweethearts. Cancer, I keep saying it. Y'all are sweethearts, right? Because y'all are sweethearts, I really feel like people take your kindness for something else. Take your kindness for something else. Like I was telling you, this particular uncle, he was like the bomb when he was, when he was alive. And he would just say, watch out for this, watch out for that, watch out for this, watch out for that. Like, look at this, watch how this person act. Watch how that person act. Watch this, watch that. So one yes from God is all you need. So when you have couples in your life that really kind of sort of take you up under their wing and they show you things, look at this is how women act, this is how men act. Obviously, you're not going to know how every man, every woman acts. But when they're showing you things and you're picking up on energies, right, picking up your learning, they're also helping to sharpen your high priestess gifts. They're helping to sharpen your intuition. That particular uncle, I'm quite sure he probably had to get a whole new transmission. But he probably didn't even care. He was like, oh yeah, I taught her how to drive a stick shift. Yeah, but coming out of first gear and then trying to put it in reverse. Anyway, adjust your crown. Adjust your crown. Adjust your crown, y'all. What I'm picking up on is that somebody's going to start letting whoever believe whatever about you. But you're also going to learn how to protect your energy too, because some of the things that were said about you were so shady behind your back. It is painful to know that people who love you or that you love them and that you wouldn't speak, you would not make disparaging comments about them behind their back. They're making disparaging comments about you behind yours because that's the frequency they're on. People have said hurtful things behind it and they haven't healed from the hurtful things that people said about them behind their back, nor do they probably have anybody to really protect their energy. Remember, light number ones, protects those that are vulnerable, right? So if they had an opportunity to protect you and your vulnerability and they didn't because they haven't healed from all the stab wounds in their back. Extend them grace, but stay as far away from them as possible. Because who has time for another sword wound? It's new beginning. Child, it's a whole new beginning. The moon is in the waxing gibbous moon. Journal, best practices as you're on your way to a full moon in Aries. It's a full corn moon, but yeah, you're not doing no corny mess like that. It's harvest time. You got a new, you have new, somebody's mother is behind this. Somebody's mother or father is behind this behavior, or it's a mother or a mother. So it's a toxic feminine energy. It could be a man or woman, but it's toxic feminine energies that's behind this. People who have not been nurtured properly in their relationships, and they don't know what it feels like for somebody to really have their back, right? So like I had my aunt's back, like I had a whole lot of people's backs. Like I'm like, nah, I know how that would feel. I have a whole lot of people's back. Like, listen, you about to get exposed. Right? So that's what you're dealing with. Some energies who have not been, who people haven't really had their back in a way that was in a loving way, right? They were ready to throw hands, tussle in the dirt, cuss people out, expose people on the World Wide Web. But somebody to say, listen, you deserve better than this. You deserve better than this. Like, come on now. So 3, 2, 1. Yeah, boundaries. Start enforcing boundaries. 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath, right? It's okay to set limits. You need to set a boundary. There are those who take too much, and your angels are reminding you that you don't have to let them. So it's important to say no to what harms you. Think of a boundary you can set today, then put it in place. You have the support of your angels. I'm telling you, y'all are very attractive to to people right now. Y'all are very attractive to people right now. People with money. The energy of money is very attractive to you right now. And so don't be shocked and surprised if those of you all who are single, people who have a lot of money want to date you. You have something new coming in, or who want to go into business with you, or who want to partner with you in business and or in love, right? And so that attractive energy attracts everything and everybody to you. Like I said, this aunt and uncle, very beautiful couple. I learned a lot from people. I've learned a lot from them, just about people in general. And so you are money. You are the energy of money. So keep your vibrations high, right? So some people are going to say about you, speaking of which, some people are going to say from your past, now that you know your worth and your value, you know that you now know your worth and your value, that somebody treated you like you were worthless, like you were the dark to their light, or if you were thinking about marrying them, you could have just been dating them, or maybe you thought about it, or maybe you were married to them, I don't know. But people are going to say now that because people who are wealthy are attracted to you, that's the reason why you're now whatever, right? Like basically you're a gold digger. But those are usually people who don't have the money. They can't afford. Because who out here calling somebody that? Anyway, somebody's still telling lies about you, but you don't care. Yeah. Somebody who is very, very wealthy is not calling you a gold digger. They've been around people long enough in business and in love to say, okay, they'll be able to pick that up right away. If you were all about just money, they'll be able to pick it up right away. They've done enough business deals, they've dated people who, only wanted them for their money. They already know. Just like you already know. Right? Just like you already know. I feel like whoever this energy is, whoever you are, you genuinely love somebody for them. You really, really did. But somebody was connected to some karmic friends, karmic family members. That's what this really is. They were connected to karmic friends, karmic family members, karmic whoever in their relationships, that because somebody didn't believe they deserved you, whoever you are, that they were willing to bring everybody down. Now somebody is just now waking up and seeing, you know what, I needed to cut some of these friends off because I actually really did deserve you as a sweetheart. Somebody realizing that they should have cut their friends off and some of their family members. It's a shame and a scandal, y'all. But it's a whole new beginning for you. So, like I said before, adjust your crown. The energy of money is wealth is very attracted to you. So, just set some boundaries. Set some boundaries. Somebody overstep a boundary, do something, let them know the first time. They overstep the boundary. Do it in love and move on. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. All right. Bye.